Hello and welcome to CNR Extra here on City TV. My name is Nana Tufuobuati. Coming up. NPP's new National Executive Committee following this weekend's delegates conference, which saw General Secretary John Buedu lose to new entrants.
The new National Executive will work assiduously for the party to win election 2024.
A former president, John Dramani Mahama, accuses the Electoral Commission of scheming to make the Ghana card the only form of identification for purposes of compiling a new voters register.
The Akufo-Addo administration has intensified its efforts to whittle down your numbers. It has not shied away from using bizarre judicial processes to achieve this objective.
Ogome in the Yilo Krobo municipality of the Eastern region accused military detachment assisting the Electricity Company of Ghana in the ongoing prepaid meter installation in the Krobo enclave of assault. And later, congestion and dilapidation of girls' dormitory block at Huni Valley Senior High School leads to bedbug infestation.
It's me them put me to your nisso. Yeah, break it down for if you baby best say near my decor. Security might be any campus, someone has by almost she is sweet. And what share a power pricker? It's mess for name bassa, ya conny.
CNR Extra is an interactive show, and so we'd like to know what you think, your comments, your contributions on the various stories that we will be bringing you. The number to join us via is 0550 585832. That's our WhatsApp number. You can as well comment on social media, tweet at us at CityTVGH, or leave a comment on Facebook at City TV. In the studio with me is Philip Nilate from the City Newsroom, and together we'll be bringing you the various stories that made it into a major bulletin. Good morning, Philip.
Good morning.
Trust you're well.
I'm doing great, and you?
I'm well. Great stuff. Let's move straight into our first story. And over the weekend, the Accra Sports Stadium was painted red, blue, and white because the NPP held their National Delegates Conference and elected some new executives into power. The details are carried in this report.
The New Patriotic Party, NPP, has elected new set of national executives to lead the party into the 2024 elections.
8 out of the 10 executives are new to their positions. There's more in the following report.
The New Patriotic Party have successfully elected officers for all levels of their party following the end of polls early on Sunday. Prior to the state of polls, positions such as chairman, general secretary, organizer, and youth organizer were expected to be keenly contested. The conference started later than scheduled. The planning committee was hoping for the conference to be called to order by 9 a.m. However, it began after 2 p.m. Some delegates and leading members of the party had cause to raise concerns over the delay.
I think it was very disappointing. They started 5-6 hours late. That was very disappointing. And I think since then it's been okay. But one hitch which I find very, very unfortunate is the issue of Tesco.
Yes, that's right.
We are told that somebody has
There's
gone
an
to
injunction
court.
placed on them.
Yes,
yeah.
I find that very unfortunate.
Conference was called to order with speeches from the president, the outgoing chairman Freddie Blay, and other leading members.
It's great to have you all here. Accra Stadium has never looked so good as it looks today, taken over by the New Patriotic Party. It's good to see you all here. No political party in Ghana has displayed the organizational skill and capacity that we in the NPP have done. And God bless the New Patriotic Party. I want to use this occasion also to say a big thank you to the leadership of the Trades Union Congress and organized labor for agreeing to the arrangements they came to the other day with the Minister for Employment and Labor and Minister for Finance. The agreement was in the national interest of Ghana that we should go forward to confront the difficulties of our country without the divisiveness of strikes and the confusions that they will bring. So I want to say a big thank you to organized labor for reaching this agreement. Our party, we have a tradition of taking Ghana out of difficulties. We took Ghana out of HIPIC in President Kufuor's time. We took Ghana out of the derailed IMF program of 2015. Let us make sure that we hold us together, who can enable us to work together, and who will be able to provide the leadership for the party to be able to surmount our mantra, breaking the 8. And breaking the 8 we shall in 2024.
Our team did deliver 2 successive undisputed general election victories for the NPP on the trot. Indeed, Mr. President, all your actions taken within the party during the period of our administration has been complimentary and supportive in growing the NPP influence as a political party of choice in our dear country. Today, I can confidently argue in humility, though, that the party has become more attractive, vibrant, and united.
In line with customs and practices, solidarity messages were taken from opposition parties.
Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, the economic wizkid turned into the digital poster boy. His Excellency, former President John Ajekum Kufuor, the national chairman of the New Patriotic Party, the general secretary of the New Patriotic Party. It has been a usual day of hunger, misery, and general economic hardship. Ladies and gentlemen, I take particular notice of the levels of ostentation on display and regret deeply, rather deeply, that the NPP do not exhibit any modicum of the ability to appreciate the need to be sensitive to the people of Ghana in these times of great suffering and pain. The New Patriotic Party remains the luckiest political organization in Ghana, having to enjoy undeserving level of goodwill from the people, yet have only offered poor leadership, incompetent leadership, leading to the current economic meltdown and hardship for all Ghanaians. The NPP government have been privileged to benefit from a total of about 500 billion Ghana cedi in revenues and about 400 billion cedis in borrowed inflows, compared to some meager 200 billion that accrued under their predecessor, the nation builder, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Incidentally, Ukraine-Russia war and COVID-19 has become the convenience whipping board.
Tolerance.
Ladies and gentlemen, in wrapping up, finally, when we were coming, I decided to buy a ball of kenke. This ball of kenke sells for 5 cedis. The leaves on the kenke alone will be 3 cedi, more expensive than the kenke itself. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I bought the kenke with my Ghana card.
much, Otukono, Dr. Otukono. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Otukono, Dr. Otukono. Thank you.
But before all these, Stephen Asamoah Boateng, who came second in the chairmanship race, accused the newly sworn-in chairman of buying votes.
I've sent my 7-point approach, 60-40, and a courageous leader that can bind us together and can face the NDC squarely. That's what we're talking about.
A lot of people are predicting that the other Stephen is going to win.
Untrue, he's buying the votes.
He's buying the votes. That's a serious.
Oh, it is. I've got the message from a known person. Let him go ahead. I am not selling. No, I can show you. Look, listen to this person. But I don't want it. He sent 500 and added another 500. I have given them a TNT. Let's finish.
How much is he paying for their votes?
I won't talk to you about it. Thank you.
But how do you see the conference so far?
So far, so good. The Lord has opened the skies. The Lord has given, and there's a meeting.
The voting then began in full force with no major concerns. However, TESCON delegates were disallowed from voting as a result of an injunction application filed and served on the Electoral Commission by some party members.
Up very early this morning just to hear bad news that TESCON would not be allowed to vote in this year's election. This is my brother. He's the Northern Region TESCON coordinator. He brought his people all the way from Tamale just to get to Accra and be told that they wouldn't be allowed to vote. That is why we are here.
So who is telling you this? Who is giving you this information?
We engaged the General Secretary. He said we should speak, two of us should speak to the EC officials and then ask them. And we should also ask the election committee members if we'll be allowed to vote. He didn't give us a direct answer. He just said we should go and ask the EC officials and the election committee. It's not, we can't do this. We can't bring people from Northeast. We can't bring people from Savannah region. We can't bring people from Upper East. We can't bring people from Upper West all the way to Accra just to tell them that they wouldn't vote.
After hours of voting, polls closed, which gave way for sorting, counting and collation. Some jubilated hours before the EC declared its certified results.
We are highly involved.
Reasons why you think John Boyd.
Hey! When the party was in recession. When the party was in recession, 2016, John Bodu, as a general secretary of the party, he brought the party into power. That's the only reason that we, the youth, that we are saying is that John Bodu, in the name of everything.
You have strong people like Justin Kodia also contesting John Boyd. Don't you think that he has come down? Don't you think that he has a chance of winning this year?
Hey, what we say is that Justin Kodia is a human being. He's also a CEO. He couldn't help us. To the youth, we couldn't get job at the YEA, Youth Employment Agency. We couldn't get job.
What jobs has John Boyd created for you?
Hey, John Boyd, what we can say for now, he watch us, the foot soldiers of the party.
The final declaration led to the swearing in of the new executives and the subsequent closure of the conference.
For the national treasurership position, 4 people contested. I therefore declare Dr. Charles Dramina duly elected national treasurer. For the position of the general secretary, 6 people contested. At the end of the ballot, John Boyd had 2,524 votes. Idris Musa had 104 votes. Ramsia Ahmed Ajiman Prembe had 8 votes. Charles Bisu withdrew before the voting.
A rather busy but also very interesting weekend. I mean, the NPP have gotten one of the hurdles out of the way. Now it's left for them to go into the election of a flag bearer. But really, some surprises in there. And of course, some confusion as well. But let's bring viewers an update to the election or the National Delegates Conference by the NPP, because they are TESCON. That's the intellectual wing of the party. 291 presidents of TESCON have petitioned the party, that's the national organizer of the party, over what they describe as disrespect, undermining and devaluation of the TESCON. Now this has to do with the elections over the weekend, and of course throughout the regional elections coming all the way up to the national, where they believe that they have been disenfranchised. And so they have written a 5-point petition to the national organizer of the NPP. And at the bottom, they have declared to put a halt to all TESCON activities across all university campuses in the country until their issues are addressed. But I think we can start from there. TESCON was denied representation in this election over the weekend. Same thing happened over the region. Level. But if you look at the constitution of the NPP, TESCON is actually supposed to have representation during every national delegates conference.
And I think this is also going to go against the party, because with TESCON, we know, is supposed to garner votes on the campuses or in the various tertiary institutions for the party. So this brings to the issue where the national organizer and the national youth organizer, they have a lot of work to do. Let me put it this way, and the new executives actually elected, they have a lot of work to do. And the TESCON members were of the view that if such an issue was at stake, that is the injunction that has been slapped, at least it should be dealt with before the elections proper. But Peter McMahon, when he mounted the podium, indicated that this was brought in just a day to the elections. They are very much unhappy, and if you watch the statement or you read the statement very well, they were asking why do we burst from very far places and brought in. They slept at Anakazo in the eastern region.
Some in their cars, some outside.
Exactly. And even the accreditation that was supposed to be given to them, limited numbers. So they have concerns there that they've raised. And if the party doesn't check this very well, it's going to go a long way to affect the party. Now that the new executive hoping that by 2024 they will break the 8, and breaking the 8, essentially you need the numbers from the various campuses, because because the students have to come out in their numbers. But if you are unable to resolve this issue very well and very soon, it's going to affect the numbers that you'll be getting to break the 8. So I think that TESCON has a point there, and the executives must also judge with them or have a conversation with them, have a negotiation with them, sit down with them, let them understand what really went wrong. Because they are saying that TESCON, they said they've not cited the petition or the injunction, and they want to know whoever went
secured that injunction,
which they say they don't have much information about. And from the clip we watched, they confronted the outgone General Secretary John Boydu, asking him that who brought in this particular injunction and why are they not voting. They want to know the details of that. But John Boydu also directed them to a different sector, and they are not so excited about it. 291, that is a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah, 291.
You can imagine the numbers they control in the various campuses.
On the various campuses.
Really. So. But let's look at the election itself and the new executives that are coming. 10 positions were vied for. 8 out of the winners are new. 8 out of the 10 are new faces. And then also, let's narrow it down to that of the General Secretaryship, where John Boydu's loss really seems to have taken center stage with all
because
this.
Nobody saw it coming.
Well, some
yes,
did. I mean,
well,
if really,
I'm sure from the camp of John Boydu, they didn't see it coming because JFK, Justin, he had yes, he had 2,837, and John Boydu had 2,524. I should say that the very day we
that's 300 plus
exactly 313 difference. So people watching that particular day on Saturday or the delegates conference when JFK mounted the stage, the applause, the shouts, and a whole number of people applauding him for going in, and they were doing that we have to change sign and all that. That should tell you that a number of people really wanted a change. And also what I was informed of is that John Boydu wasn't down there for the grassroots, or he wasn't down there for the some party members, and that is what Kennedy Japan also came to say, that he
interesting comments from him on the day. Actually,
he expected Wontumi not to come out with other regional chairmen to support John Boydu. 15 out of 16 supporting John Boydu.
You see, what that says to me is that the party has elected a general secretary they do not like, because if 15 out of 16
regional
chairmen are supporting John Boydu and he turns out to lose, then really the party is telling us that, well, we are voting for someone we don't like.
We want a change.
We support John Boydu, but we voted for someone we don't like. That's Justin from
That is what comes in when John will say fear delegates.
Exactly, and it's difficult to anticipate how all this will play out going into the 2024 elections, where the party wants to break the eight. But you see, if you look at John Boydu and you look at the line of general secretaries the NPP has had, the Ohinin Toes, the Kwabene Japons, what was this man's name? The name it's not coming, but if you look at the line of NPP General Secretary Dankwe Kubotwe, who is now a minister for local government, he has served as General Secretary before. If you look at these people and you bring John Boydu in, clearly you can differentiate. And so one would assume, or one would expect, that having come in as an acting general secretary when Kwabene Japan was suspended, I mean, during Afoku's tenure,
you should step aside.
He
now that your chairman is also going.
Exactly. He should have taken cue, or perhaps read the signs on the wall and stepped aside for the new entrants to compete. However, he can also take credit for leading the party to victory in the 2016 elections, 2020 elections, for which reason he believes he is still fit and has the popularity amongst the delegates to still go in there and win. But clearly he was shut down in the election itself.
And once Sanders spoke to him on that evening, on Saturday, he was hopeful. He said he's going to come out with flying colors. And at the end of the race, JFK won. And that tells you something, that the party, the delegates actually want change, like you said earlier. And they are hoping to see new faces carry the party to the 2024 elections. And a very interesting one too comes in with the chairmanship position, where Stephen Ntim has been there for 5 times. That's quite a long time. 20 years. When he started, it was 44 years. And just on Saturday was his 64th birthday. And he congratulated delegates for giving him a very memorable 64th birthday. And he's not going to take the position for granted and ensure that the 2024 elections...
Well, I mean, we wait to see whether it's just a thank you for his loyalty to the party. And if indeed he still has the steam to carry on the party to win an election, having contested over all these number of years. But let us know what you think. Send us your comments via the WhatsApp number 0550585832, and you can also send us a text or a comment on Facebook at CTTV, and of course tweet at us at CTTVGH. You're watching CNR Extra on CTTV. Still ahead. Former President John Dramani Mahama accuses Electoral Commission of scheming to make the Ghana card the only form of identification for purposes of compiling a new voters register. We'll bring you the details shortly. Do stay with us.
Plus is a fully skimmed evaporated milk. Creamy Plus is available in a shop near you.
This message has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Good Day Energy Drink keeps you going. Available in major supermarkets and shops near you. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to your health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back. This is CNR Extra here on City TV. My name is Nana Tufo-Boateng, and I'm here with Philip Ni-Late. We'd like to know what you think, what your comments are or contributions are to the show, and so send us a message via the WhatsApp number 0550585832. Let's move on to our next story. And the minority NDC caucus in Parliament met in Ho, the Volta regional capital, over the weekend. And they had former President John Dramani Mahama addressing them. The details.
Former President John Dramani Mahama is accusing the Electoral Commission of scheming to make the Ghana card the only form of identification for purposes of compiling a new voters register. This, he says, is a subtle attempt to disenfranchise voters and thus must be resisted. He was addressing the closing ceremony of a retreat by the minority NDC caucus in Parliament held in Ho in the Volta regional capital.
The minority in Parliament have been on a retreat aimed at realigning their objectives and also focusing on their core goals. The caucus on Sunday welcomed the leader and flag bearer of the NDC in the 2020 general elections, John Dramani Mahama. In his address to the group, he commended them for their resolve to ensure accountable governance by adequately scrutinizing the Nana-led administration. Mr. Mahama praised the caucus, saying, in the face of intensified efforts by the NPP to whittle down their numbers using what he described as bizarre judicial processes, the NDC have remained firm in the performance of their functions in Parliament.
The very first day, therefore, your work has been cut out for you. On the evidence of what we have seen so far, you've done what is within your power to shield Ghanaians against some draconian and very poor policy choices of the Akufo-Addo administration. You've stood firmly and pushed back against blatant abuse of parliamentary rules and standing orders. Sometimes deploying unorthodox methods, you have held a marauding government that has viewed itself as invincible and that treats Ghanaians with contempt. The Akufo-Addo administration has intensified its efforts to whittle down your numbers. It has not shied away from using bizarre judicial processes to achieve this objective. A case in point is how our MP for Asim North remains an MP, yet is barred from performing his functions in Parliament.
Mr. Mahama also accused the Electoral Commission of scheming to disenfranchise Ghanaians through the use of the Ghana card as the sole form of identification for the compilation of a voters' register ahead of the 2024 elections.
The Ghana card is a relatively new feature of our national life and has its merits in the scheme of things. At the moment, it's being brandished more as a political tool around which all manner of schemes are being fashioned towards elections. There is a need to allow sufficient time for its full integration into our way of life before this kind of unhelpful exclusion of all other legitimately acquired, credible, and time-tested forms of identification of who a Ghanaian is implemented. The National Identification Authority cannot claim to have covered every Ghanaian who should be registered or distributed all the cards printed to those who have been captured in their system. They have failed to distribute hundreds of thousands of cards to people who have registered. Until full and total coverage is achieved in the rollout of the Ghana card, room must be provided for those who have yet to be served to exercise their democratic rights of voting.
The minority leader Haruna Idrisu, in an interaction with the media, said they will only agree to the EC's move to use the Ghana card as sole and only form of identification only if the NIA opens the registration app and ensures that all Ghanaians qualified in voting are provided with the Ghana card.
Our request is that the Ghana card can only be used as a sole reference document if every Ghanaian is assured of access to it legitimately and lawfully as they are required to have it as Ghanaian citizens. We fear that they will disenfranchise a number of Ghanaians, which is a legitimate and guaranteed constitutional right under Article 42, and we would not find that acceptable. That will be destabilizing for our democracy and destabilizing of the country. Any attempt to deny any legitimate qualified Ghanaian voter the opportunity to get onto the electoral roll and to exercise the right to vote.
The former president, John Dramani Mahama, also indicated that the NDC will not support the approval of a 1 billion syndicated loan currently before Parliament.
The NDC and the minority group in Parliament will not be supporting the ultra-expensive $1 billion syndicated loan agreement brought to Parliament by the Honourable Finance Minister. Yeah. Our position on the $250 million component remains unchanged. As such, unfavorable terms as the $45 million insurance payment and total interest payments of about $80 million make it too expensive and inimical to the economic interests of Ghana. It is also not programmed in the 2022 budget. Until the terms are renegotiated to make them favorable and the same captured in subsequent budgets, we are unable to support the approval of the $250 million component.
So former President John Dramani Mahama really spoke on a number of issues, and that's what you would expect of a former president, to keep the government on its toes. But key amongst them, of course, is the Ghana card issue and the supposed or alleged plans by the EC to compile a new voters register using the Ghana card. Now, as it stands, a number of Ghanaians do not have their cards. I do not have my card. And the charade I am having to go through, well, that's a story for another day. But I mean, you would want to agree with the minority on this, that really if the issues should go ahead and start a new voters register, what happens to the previous register?
Number of people will also be
disenfranchised.
And from our checks, we saw that close to 17 million people are expected or cast their vote. That is the voting population. Yeah. We're asking ourselves, how many of this 17 million have their Ghana card?
Well, the NIA says it has distributed some 16.9 million. It has a backlog of 850,000 plus to still distribute.
But you go to the various centers and you see a number of people there wanting their Ghana cards, and even people who have gone in for the registration, they've gone through the process and the Ghana card has to be given to them. Some of them have not even shown up for the Ghana card. True. Also, people find it very difficult getting their Ghana card even after the process. But on Eyewitness News on City 97.3 FM on Friday, the Electoral Commission, and that is the Elections Services Director from the Electoral Commission, Dr. Sirebo Kwaku, says that there is no such plan for they going ahead to compile a new voters register with the sole, as the sole identification. But it looks like the minority is still on this issue, and they want the general public to know that this is what the Electoral Commission wants to do. And you heard the Haruna Idrisu also saying that if this must be done, then everybody, every Tom, Dick and Harry must get to the Ghana card. And getting of the Ghana card is the issue here. Yeah,
that's where the challenge is. I mean, this issue was first raised by Ningo Pram Pram MP, Sam Nate George, on the floor floor of Parliament, and I think there was a request put in to have the EC come into the House to answer to some questions. But you see, there are challenges with the acquisition of the Ghana card. Clearly, I mean, we had a former NIA boss even come out to say that, well, the NIA should have given itself ample time to register and distribute all the cards to all Ghanaians who are clearly registered. Remember that there was a first deadline for the merging of the SIM registration, the SIM re-registration exercise that had to be extended because clearly people do not have the card. And it's the same thing that is anticipated if the EC should go ahead and start a new voters register using the Ghana card. I mean, if we give ourselves ample time and we do a proper registration and distribution, every Ghanaian registered duly receives their card, then of course this is our form of identification, and so it will make sense to have it as the sole identification for a voters register, because mind you, that's what seems to be happening, because all other services will now depend or will be hinged on the Ghana card.
And even people started going in more when the announcement and the advertisement of linking your Ghana card to your SIM card and also your bank account, re-registration and all that. That is when a lot of people went to the various centers to go in for the registration or to get their Ghana cards. But even as we speak right now, a number of people don't have the cards. The issuance of the card has become a problem. People don't have time to go through the process. You have to do this, you have to do that. And even some people say they have to pay some money to go through the process and get the Ghana card. So if the National Identification Authority is able to address all these challenges and the Electoral Commission sees it or deems it fit, that okay, fine. So a number of people, or close to 17 million people have.
Let's get the registration and distribution right of the Ghana card, then we can think of moving on to making it
but what happened to
identification mode for
passport?
Exactly.
What happened to
well, we've heard the vice president tout the Ghana card as a mode of traveling outside. Anyways, I mean, hopefully we address the challenges with the Ghana card itself, and then we can think of moving it on to other services. But the Electricity Company of Ghana is in the Yilo Krobo area, the Manya Krobo area as well, and they're installing prepaid meters. Now, some residents are accusing them of assault. Let's get the details in this report.
Assisting the Electricity Company of Ghana in the ongoing prepaid meter installation in the Krobo enclave of Assault. The residents allege that the military officers who visited the community with personnel of the ECG to install prepaid meters at Ogome brutally subjected some members of the community to beatings after they questioned why the exercise was still ongoing, despite parliamentary directive for the prepaid meter installation exercise to be halted. City News' Neil Amate Kanaku reports that the victims, including a woman, had visible marks of bruises all over her body.
On June 12, management of the Electricity Company of Ghana, Tema Region, began an exercise in collaboration with 50 military personnel to assess the power distribution company install prepaid meters in the Krobo operational area. Even though this move by ECG is part of a resolution of a roadmap drawn to improve revenue mobilization of the company and put an end to the regional impasse between residents of the area and ECG. Residents, including divisional chiefs, have on several occasions tried preventing and resisting the ECG from carrying out the installation. The ECG and the military have managed to install some prepaid meters at Lolonyo, and some part of Somenya peacefully, but sadly, 2 cases of assault have been leveled against the military. The incident, according to the residents, happened on 2 separate occasions on different days. The first one, which occurred at Sna, just close to Right FM, involved Ernest Lawe, who alleged he was assaulted several times after exchanging words with the military personnel.
On first time I say the be the same. As long as there is a familiar PA or Mr. Wada Babu in South Pine, no the bomb as soon as Babu someone is out to pine. No the boy don't go and meet go at you. We come and about this summer time no Jimmy. What you send me PA? What you send me PA and me Jimmy? What anything is send me ra. Me store no more. And I quite the chill and me right if you hold. I feel if you maybe I'm feeling myself at that side. No more be PA if you're not me now. But when ye or move when I put on my mechi. Buy and the bomb and I'm but who some so buy and the damage now. A teacher about or more general catcher of Munya or Muja.
Ivonte, an apprentice close by who tried to intervene by pleading with the personnel on behalf of Ernest, was not spared in the process as he took some lashes on her thighs. The second incident occurred on Saturday afternoon at Ogome, which is not too far away from SNA, as a gentleman, Eric Ologo, who according to him had his phone in his hands, was accused of taking pictures of the military personnel. His iPhone watch and phone was destroyed after he was subjected to some lashes.
Roadside and my email phone say, oh, far we year call. And see me back a year call. And all one say me try on picture and see me become media. And almost 20 of them almost boom me. Almost the wire cross. Almost boom me say me my try on picture. But almost picture no to on my phone. Almost boom me sir. Almost say me Apple Watch any near my nephew my phone my say media 2 minutes and my face on and I almost see me try on picture and me the call media. Medium picture air call media.
Despite the directive from Parliament for management of Electricity Company of Ghana to halt the prepaid meter installation in the area, the exercise, which was halted briefly after some divisional chiefs led a massive demonstration a few weeks ago against the exercise, has resumed and still ongoing, unabated. Meanwhile, attempts to reach the Yellow Krobo Municipal Assembly for response has not been fruitful, but City News can confirm that a team from the Electricity Company of Ghana Tema region are on their way to Somenya to begin.
But it's becoming worrying, the increasing appetite we are having as a country for the deployment of the military to intervene in civil matters. I mean, the military you would expect to only show up when the matter escalates to a point that cannot be dealt
by the
with
police.
By the police. But now we are seeing the military being deployed in almost every situation, and this is worrying.
The people of the the Yellow Krobo people have said that they don't want the military presence there.
Clearly.
And they don't want it to look as if they're at a war front. So if you are coming to do this exercise, you should come in peacefully. And then again, the Electricity Company of Ghana, the staff, they are scared. Because once beaten, twice shy, and they don't want these people there to also hurt them or to go do something that is going to be a problem to them. So the military has to, but I think that a decision must be taken so that if is a meeting that is going to be held between the people in the area, so that a long-lasting solution must be found.
I mean, the
this
people
problem.
have demands. Clearly, ECG also has to generate revenue.
Exactly, and you can't be using the power for free.
For free. So clearly, I mean, there should be a sit-down, various stakeholders involved, and then come to a conclusion, a proper conclusion on how to deal with this matter going forward.
Because not long ago, the chiefs and some of
this.
the residents there
actually demonstrated. Yeah, and even we've had Parliament, Second Deputy Speaker Siama direct that the military be withdrawn from this exercise.
And the process be halted.
But we're still seeing it ongoing. Anyways, let us know what you think via the WhatsApp number 0550585832. Send us your thoughts, your comments, your contributions. But stay with us on the CNR Extra here on City TV, because still ahead. Congestion and dilapidation of girls' dormitory block at Huni Valley Senior High School leads to bedbug infestation. Stay with us, we'll bring you the details shortly.
it's acrobatic. People call me who knows tomorrow. I don't want to hide the good things from the good peoples of Ghana. Let me tell you about watching your favorite kid show, movies, telenovelas, sports, news, etc. and etc. in crystal clear, high definition picture. This year, we know come to play. Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy, Mr. Drew, and I'm going to show you how to pause and rewind live TV, and also program your HD Plus decoder to record shows when you're not home. Middle car. HD Plus, it's a came. Charlie, bring your phone, make a download my HD Plus app on it for you, so you can watch TV on your phone with free data every month.
Good Day Energy Drink keeps you going. Available in major supermarkets and shops near you. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to your health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back. This is CNR Extra on City TV. Let's move straight into our next story, which is in the education sector. And of course, we are having challenges of bed bags at Huni Valley Senior High School. Let's get the details in this report, and then we can have a conversation on it.
Of the Huni Valley Senior High School in the Western region say they are suffering from bedbug infestation. Some of the students speaking on their ordeal to City News say they struggle to sleep due to bedbug bites and blame the reoccurrence of the insect on congestion and the dilapidated state of the girls' dormitory block. City News says Akwesi Ejenim has more from Huni Valley.
Huni Valley Senior High School in the Western region was built in 1975 and has not seen much expansion or renovation. As a result, the current population of around 1,597 students is facing congestion due to lack of space at the various dilapidated dormitories. This dormitory is one of the two girls' dormitories of the school, facing incessant bedbugs infestation, forcing the students to dismantle their beds to sleep on the floor. Some of the students who spoke to City News anonymously while complaining about the bedbugs blamed the infestation on congestion.
Security man be any campus on house by almost a sweetie. And what tree a power impuka? It's mess for name when I pass. I don't con yeah, Dawson. Former of Rebecca, and I'm my which is a Maya banner former of one school. I am putting into your to bed near your bed near before. Was here the bed needs why the bed form needs to my intimate that you can high and pound.
Following the teachers' strike for cola, there was no school authority to respond to the issue at the time of our visit to the school. Meanwhile, as government drags its feet to address the school's years of congestion concerns, which have contributed to the ever-recurring bedbugs infestation at the dormitories, Goldfields Diamond Mines, a mining company which operates within the Prestia Huni Valley municipality through its foundation, says it will soon complete a 350-bed capacity girls' dormitory currently under construction to reduce the congestion.
We've actually sourced and ready to even procure double-deck steel bunker beds. So the beds are not going to be wood. I think GS going forward is looking at beds which are steel because of issues of insects and all that. So that's one of the things we are going to put in this facility. In terms of electrical works, we're going to provide fans for each of the dormitories, and as well for some of our targets in terms of green energy. We are using LED lights at this dormitory. So that's a little bit of what we have on the electrical. Apart from that, if you look at the space, which is 350 bed, the wings at the sides are where we have the washrooms. So each floor has 18 showers and 8 toilets. Each of the dormitories, we made room to have prefect dormitories in them, so that you could have prefect taking responsibility for each dormitory. The right wing you see here are also master's accommodation, so that you could have teachers in here who would also have keen eye.
The students who appeared happy with the progress of work thanked them for coming to their aid.
Instead of master said that from my summer, and Japan said, or my summer, or my semi sure of pa. So, Mamma, why a pad that can be used to the Banija and Conade, the dear coffee. And the Dano be seen and said, I say, Palma, why a pa. A man, if it's me album, Ama, teachers in small, or more about some highlands when your baby. I died down when I said, power down my.
The project manager of Goldfields, however, said Goldfield is on track to completing the redevelopment of the Takwa TNA Park into the promised modern stadium by December this year.
I think that the first thing, which obviously we spoke a little bit about, is the rainfall pattern in Takwa here. Look, we had actually anticipated it, but it gets to a point where you realize there's so much rain that you could virtually do nothing, and you have to stop for some hours and all that. The second challenge and that we went through is obviously the COVID lockdown. Even though we hadn't had issues on site with regards to people getting infected, but during the lockdown, the contractor had to stop work because.
You see, these bed bags we usually hide in the crevices of the walls, in the ceilings, in wooden beds. And of course, in the morning, when after biting, you see these little red spots on your skin. Why are we burdening our students this much?
So that brings to the issue of infrastructure and the various schools or the various senior high schools, and also made mention of congestion. Once there is no infrastructure, everybody will be piled, or there will be pressure on the little that is in this particular institution. But now that an institution has moved in to help them, I think that some form of fumigation exercise must be carried out.
Some disinfection exercise that was started in 2020, I think.
For the various senior high schools.
Exactly, during the outbreak of COVID-19.
Yes.
Most of the schools were disinfected, but of course this exercise perhaps must have halted, for which reason we are seeing some of it. But that doesn't settle it. I mean, I think we need to improve on the infrastructure so there is enough room. That's away with the congestion. And of course, I mean, they will have enough room for the students to keep their staff.
So in the meantime, the management of the school
rest.
must also come up with something to ensure that these students are free and that they are not having these challenges with the bed bags and all that, because from the clip we watched, you can see that a number of them are sleeping in a very small room with plenty mattresses and all that.
Poor
so
conditions.
certainly there will be bed bags infestation
and
there.
this will go a long way to affect their academic activities as well. But many thanks to you. Thank you so much, Philip Nilate. It's always a pleasure hosting you on CNR Extra. Many thanks to you for watching. Many thanks to those who sent in their comments. Unfortunately, we are unable to read them. But we'll see you same time tomorrow. My name is Nanatufo Boating, and many thanks for watching CNR Extra. Bye-bye.